Setting up meeting. Okay, it says we are live now. So I am sorry we got off to a late start today. Had some technical difficulties, but here we are. Thanks for joining. So who do we have? Now, Sarah, you're not going to be able to stay with us, right? Or are you?
Sarah's on mute, so there we go.
Um, I can. I mean, if uh um, but I mean, I'm with my
Family.
yeah. So if there's a way that I could uh leave early today, that would be
Go for it.
great.
Yeah,
But I
go
can
spend time
also
with your family. I think we got it.
I'm
I was just
okay.
asking. Yeah,
Okay,
so
yeah, no,
there'll be a recording anyway. So
all right. I'm happy to stay if there's so actually Jeremy, I emailed you posts from the hub.
oh,
Um
thank you.
and um also um I um wanted to revisit um my travel budget. I think a long time ago now, uh in town hall we had approved
Yes,
500 um and um uh John and I have talked, and after Turkey and coming up next week I'll be in Singapore, and I'll have some e-NABLE related meetings that I can go to there. But that will be I don't know what it will cost to get there from where I'm staying. So I had wanted to know if we could add an additional 250 to that fund. And then the other thing is Day Undefined will be presenting on September 20th in the town hall. So I just wanted to note that, and hopefully people will come to that. It'll be on the calendar.
Excellent. Okay. All right, well, let's do this real quick. I mean, I don't remember, John, if we had any sort of minimum number of people for a quorum requirement, but I think it was just whoever's present, right?
here we are. And
Okay,
I
so
can vouch for the well investedness of this allocation.
yeah, I mean, so Sarah already was telling us about some wonderful talks she had with the folks in Turkey and what that led to. So it seems a pretty no-brainer to me. Let's talk about authorizing an additional $250 for travel-related expenses for the work that she's doing. And it's us voting here. So tomorrow, I don't know if you can come on screen for a second to show us whether you're in favor. John and I are in favor. Sarah, I'm sure you're in favor. So it's unanimous. It's approved,
yes,
Sarah. You're good to
thank
go.
you. Okay, thank you.
So you'll get that from Evan, I imagine.
Yep.
Okay. Say
Okay.
hello to your folks. Your
Yep.
father.
Thanks, Sarah.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
All right.
Okay.
Bye. Okay, well, so it's just the it's just the three of us, but I guess let's at least take the time to go through our hub posts, and we'll talk about a couple things, maybe keep the meeting a little bit short. I guess we
Yeah,
got late
Jeremy,
start
I
anyway.
actually am gonna have to leave here about 20 minutes to 12.
Very good. So let's make that our target. I could use the time anyway, so let's try to at least get through some of these hosts. I'm going to share my screen and a moment to readjust things here. Okay, so Madison. Excited to introduce myself as the new president chapter leader of e-NABLE DC, newly appointed outreach coordinator. Excellent. So this is just kind of the follow-up from the proposal that was approved on Lumio, right? Let's see. So she's introducing the initiatives, identifying recipients, local collaboration, national connections, and guidance development, inviting people to get involved. There's a space set up in the hub called Outreach and Advancement. Awesome. I mean, I don't think this requires any input from us. I think it was just kind of being called to our attention, and it looks great. I want to compliment Maddie on doing this. I think when somebody gets a project approved like this, I think this is a really nice way to kind of get things introduced to the community. I like that she did a post like this and laid out the next steps and key initiatives and inviting others to get involved. This looks great. Any
And-
comments, John?
Yeah, let me just say, I think Madison is the right person in the right place at the right time, but outreach and advancement cannot happen without support and suggestions from e-NABLE volunteers. What Maddie is going to be trying to do is pilot some outreach events and to make relationships with other disability rights and other organizations in the Washington, D.C. area. We may talk about this later, but there's also a documentary film being made that may improve our ability to reach people who would like our devices. But joining this group and brainstorming ways of really connecting our surplus of volunteers to our undersupply of people who actually know the devices are available, your help would be much appreciated.
Awesome. On we go. Next one is Feng Kitchen. Let's see. Student of product design at Royal College of Art. Would like to introduce a kitchen tool I designed. Oh, nice. Okay. Helps to secure various tubular tools such as spatulas and knives. It's got a magnetic strap, a rotatable and lockable angle. Oh, let's look at the video. How about that? Hold on. I'm going to reshare with my video sharing settings enabled. Nice buckle. Oh, those are nice.
Wow.
Very smart. Now those are 3D printed with, I think those are TPU, the parts that clamp down. That's very smart.
Leverage, strength, terrific. Still put it on
Look
upside
at
down.
that. Angle adjustment.
Interesting. Ooh,
Yeah.
I've never seen a mechanism like that.
No. Very cool. Very cool.
Now those are exactly the kind of, I mean, that's an extraordinarily elegant bunch of solutions, but that's exactly the kind of thing we should send to Mrs. M and her filmmakers.
Let's just call this to Ian and Eric's attention since they're the ones working on our device repositories.
And also Maddie for forwarding to the people we met yesterday.
Excellent. Okay. Thanks for sharing that thing. Wonderful looking design. I'm going to have to take a closer look at that later. That's terrific. John, event. Tell us about this, John.
Yeah. This is just to say that there is an event on September 28th in New Hampshire, which will be all about assistive technologies and 3D printing. If you're in that neck of the woods, it would be great for you to go.
Okay.
I
Explore
believe I've met
hundreds of
this woman in the
devices.
past, and she does really nice work.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Good deal. Next one, Raphael, volunteer. Interested in case facilitator volunteer position. Okay. And Jonathan, who's already helping with that, said that I would be the one to talk to. There are a few initiatives currently going. Okay, so I apparently kind of dropped the ball here because I missed that I was tagged and I should respond to that. The question is whether we want to try to get somebody else plugged in with the Enable Web Central case facilitation right now. It's still going to be a while before this new matching platform is up, so it might not be a bad idea to try to continue to do our best to clean things up in Enable Web Central. So I will have to follow up with Raphael. I've had very limited time for some of this lately. I will try to come back to this later. Let me just drop a reminder to myself here. And okay, respond to Rafael Ramirez. Okay. All right. So I'll come back to him later. Rian, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I was thinking of hosting a handathon in my city. Does e-NABLE still support these? The forum says to send completed hands to the Living Classroom project. Oh, we got to fix that. That's I think that's defunct. Yeah, so let's see. We don't have an active collection point right now. Can you share a link to the form that you're referring to? Oh, okay. So it's in our how to get started as a volunteer. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, it says right here, hold a handathon, and then the completed hands can be sent to the Living Classroom project address below. So this needs to be updated, and we don't really have a good alternative right now, do we, John?
We do not. I think, no, we don't. I think we should just comment that handathons are useful for demonstrating the technology. But we do not currently have a system for collecting these devices. You might also consider assistive devices.
Okay, yeah. Um, this is normally where I ask Sarah for help in kind of responding to these posts, so I don't try to do it in real
Video.
time.
I think she's got
But
the idea.
okay, so yeah, if you're watching the recording, Sarah, if you could maybe respond as John suggested, let him know that we don't really have a good collection point right now, but and that it does not need to be a handathon. It could be an other assistive device-a-thon potentially that might be easier to distribute thanks to these state-run assistive technology programs that do have collection and distribution capabilities. So yeah, I
Right.
think that's a good approach.
And Sarah,
Same person. Sorry,
I've
go ahead,
just
John.
I've just sent Sarah an email that says, please search the Hub forum for references to the Living Classroom project and remove or deny the existence of such a thing at the moment.
Okay. All right. The same individual is saying that Christopher Ubelhart has collected around $2,500 worth of donations while leading the Enable Vancouver chapter, and unfortunately has shut down his chapter. Let's see.
There's been discussion of this. Scroll down.
Okay.
He wants to give it direct to another. Oh, apparently there's.
I don't see any comments on this.
So I guess he has posted it again, or
Okay.
Jan has posted on his behalf.
Is this Vancouver, Washington or Vancouver, British Columbia?
It's a fine question. And don't know, Tamara.
Because I'm in Vancouver, BC, and that person that had it before has moved on.
My
He's been-
comment would be free money, exclamation point, and move
Right.
on.
That's what he says down here. So he's looking for 3 to 4 chapters to get about $500 each, but it has to specifically be earmarked for actually making devices. So yeah, respond if that interests you, and we'll leave it at that. Next up, we've got Paul. Not sure if I'm in the right place, but I'm a maker looking to make or adapt a device for my 11-year-old. He has right side hemiparesis from a hemispherectomy and no wrist hand mobility. I was going through existing projects that may apply to a situation, and the frog exoskeleton looks promising but experimental. We had another one like this a while back, and didn't we find something else as far as an exoskeletal device like this, John?
Um, I
Christoph shared one here. Um,
look,
Oh, okay, that's interesting looking.
it is interesting looking, but I'll tell you, the knife holder that we just saw from the new designer may be a more practical solution for some of these cases.
Hmm.
Instead of trying to get fingers working again, reduce the need for fingers.
Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah, I can't think of any others. I thought we had found one other, but I can't recall where that was. I wonder if there was any reference to it under, um, yeah. So if we do exoskeletal, does that come up with anything?
Oop,
Here's one. Airy arm.
that was the precursor to Peter Binkley.
Oh, okay.
Nice concept, but I wouldn't recommend it. It
Okay.
was
So
just
you're aware of that one. Okay. Yeah, and I'm not seeing any others jump out at me here, so I'll have to leave it at that. But I don't know if I wish I could offer up some other better suggestion here, but I'm gonna have to just leave this one to the community. Maybe somebody else is aware of designs that I'm not that might help here. Okay. And last one here is from Chris. Part of the content team with AnchorMake. Oh yeah, okay. We're currently working on setting up our first build-a-thon on the East Coast. Can't do this in every city. I'd like to think of this as an ongoing long-term project that can move around the country. To that end, I'd love to hear from chapters of the manpower and resources to put such an event together. Okay, so they're able to provide printers and filament, but they need the hardware kits and the manpower. So I think it's a neat idea, and I'd be happy to explore how we can help as far as kits are concerned. But I think the challenge, excuse me, that needs to be addressed is what we were talking about before. Each one of these handathons generates a bunch of devices. What do we do with them? How do we get them into the hands of people that could actually use them? Otherwise, we're just, wasting a lot of plastic, and these things are going to end up in the garbage.
You know,
So,
Jeremy,
yeah.
I wonder whether makers making change, assistive devices don't need to be customized as much as these hands do. I wonder if we should just take the bull by the horns and try to organize an adaptive device build-a-thon
Hmm.
uh, with an arrangement with makers making change or someone else saying, tell us which ones you want to have in inventory.
I think that's a good idea, a good approach. And that kind of brings us back to, and I don't know that we need to get into this now, but since Adam has sort of stepped back from e-NABLE, I would love to see somebody kind of take the reins on developing the assistive technology program, because if we look at the spreadsheet that he started in here, we've got Illinois and Missouri and Texas. That's it.
Yep.
There's a whole lot of states left, and every one of them still has an assistive technology program that we could be plugged into. But we need somebody to take the lead on
Let
making
me suggest
contact,
that this is a form of outreach and you can punt it to Maddie.
Oh, okay. Well, let's ask Sarah for help there. Again, if you're able to, hopefully she's able to see the recording. If we can talk with Maddie about getting involved with this assistive technology program and expanding that to include the other states, I think that ties in nicely with some of these other requests then for people wanting to do these events. I think John's right to do an event where, you're putting together a whole bunch of these different assistive devices. It makes it interesting, gives people lots of choices because these places have huge libraries of different designs to choose from, and they can immediately go to a known collection point and get into the hands of people that need them. So I think it's great.
Concept. Let's see if we can make it true.
Okay, on we go then.
Yeah.
Sarah told us about the presentation coming up from Day Undefined. They'll be with us on September 20th. I'm sure she'll be posting more details in the hub about that. Our e-NABLE fund is still about the same, about 96 grand. Haven't really touched too much of that funding from Aero Electronics, but we're working on it. Recurring meetings here. I won't go through. Okay, so discussion topics. I put this one on here to discuss, and I'd like to get some input. One of my partners through my company, 3D Universe, is a company called Matter and Form. They make 3D scanners. And they've launched a new one called the Matter and Form 3, which is a pretty nice scanner. I've been testing, and it has some really nice capabilities. They feel that it could be a good solution for scanning limbs and using that for some of the work that we do for people that, get into customization. And they've come back to me with a really generous offer. They want to offer a 50% discount to enable volunteers that want to get their solution. I'm not taking sides here and saying that it is or isn't the right fit for anyone or any particular project. I'll leave that to each individual to look at and determine for themselves. But if a volunteer feels that the Matter and Form 3 scanner is something that they want to invest in, or a chapter, there is a 50% discount being made available. Question is, how do we do that? We've never really figured out a good way to implement programs like this. The challenge is, we want to make the program visible to our community, visible to our volunteers. And so like there in the past, we tried doing this, like there was a place on the Enabling the Future website where there was a page where we listed some of the special offers from our sponsors and things like that. The trick is making it visible to our volunteers, letting them know about it without making it too visible to the general public, because we don't want people kind of seeing it and saying, oh my God, 50%. In this case, this is a $2,400 scanner. So you're getting a $1,200 discount. Somebody that wants to buy that scanner, I could see them signing up for e-NABLE just so they could get that discount. And that's what we don't want.
Um, what if it was made available to chapters? And if people aren't members of chapters, encourage them to find one and join one.
That's one way. Another one I was thinking of is that we promote it as being available to, any individual volunteers or chapters, but that we have some kind of a vetting process where when they reach out to Matter and Form, I guess I would probably be their contact. They would reach out to me to say, hey, we just got this request from this person, this, name and email. I could go in and look, see their activity on the hub, see if they've earned any badges. You can tell pretty quickly if it's actually a volunteer.
Do that. That's great.
So I just wanted to get input, see if you guys had any other thoughts on how we might do that. There's still a question of how to publicize it. I guess maybe that's something we think about for the new website that we're building. I mean, if we're looking for that to be the homepage for e-NABLE, maybe we put a page on there of, offers for volunteers or partner offers, or I don't know what it would be, but maybe that site is a place to do it. Obviously, we can put it in the hub too, but I things tend to get buried in the hub. So any other ideas on how we go about just letting people know that this offer is available? Newsletter, I guess, is another possibility.
Newsletter is a great idea. Also, I don't know the status, but I think the e-NABLE R&D Facebook group is still something that people attend to. And so
Okay.
that's a community, that's a group that might be interested in it. It's not e-NABLE R&D Facebook group.
Got it.
And while you're typing, I want to move to the next item, and then I need to excuse myself.
Sounds good.
The Big Map project proposal on Lumio came infinitesimally close to passing, but did not pass. I probably could have shaken the tree in order to get one more vote, which would have done it. But I didn't, because I thought there were some good concerns expressed, some valid feedback, and Patrick and I are taking it to heart and seeing what we can do to make it simpler from a simpler and more participatory. So
Okay.
I think it was a good process. I frankly was proud that people pushed back without hesitation, and we're still on the case.
That's great. Okay. I think that's exactly I think Lumio served its purpose. And if we can come up with a fine-tuned approach that everyone feels more comfortable with, wonderful.
Right. And now I must excuse myself. I'm sorry.
Thank you, John. And I'm actually going to be right behind you. I think it's probably a good time to wrap up here tomorrow. Did you have anything that you wanted to discuss today?
No, but in terms of that discount scanner, I'm wondering if offering it to a group like a maker group or something, it would get more use for more people, and it might
Absolutely.
sustain its usage?
Well, that offer would certainly apply to them as well. I just don't know that I want to limit it to only being available to groups and chapters. But yes, that it would be available to them. They said
Yeah.
that they want to offer this discount to anybody that's doing this work. So if it's a maker space that's doing enable work or a chapter, that they could certainly take advantage of this offer. And you're right, then that investment gets leveraged across multiple people, which is nice. Yeah.
That's
All
the
right,
only thing I
so
had.
I'll follow up with them and see if we can get that going. And I think we're going to go ahead and wrap today. The other topics will be better addressed once Sarah's back with us, and we can talk about some of the next steps with these things. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things a little bit early today, and we will regroup for the next one, which is I don't recall when is our next town hall. Is I guess it would be the first Friday in September, right? So I think we're doing these on the first and third Fridays now. So all right. Thank you for joining and see you next time.